Friends, welcome back to our Python for Beginners series. This side Rajlakshmi Singham, and today's program is a short one, but it's packed with an important lesson. And we are going to learn how to replace the first element of a list, but only if it's negative. It sounds easy, right? But here is the cool part. This tiny idea will teach you how to check conditions and update lists at the same time. So just imagine the user will enter a list of numbers and will check if the list is not empty. And then if the first element is negative, we'll replace it with a zero. And finally, we will print the modified list. Okay, let's start coding together. So step one, take user input. So my list equal to input. Enter numbers separated by commas. Dot split. And you'll use comma to split. And step two, check if the list is not empty. So if my list, so if it's not empty, if it's true, then here is the step three. Check if the first element is negative or not. So if to access the first element, we have index concept. We have already learned how to access the elements in this list using the index concept. So I'm doing the same thing. So if my list of 0 is nothing but you're accessing the first element and it's less than 0. But if you observe, I didn't use any integers here, right? I just used the input. That means the input that I'm getting from the user will be in strings. So it will be something like this. So 10, 20. Something like this. But I want it to be converted to integer. So I will add int here. So you can use int anywhere. So I'm using it here to convert the first element to this integer from string. So then what you will do if the number is less than 0, that means if the number is negative, then you will just simply make it to 0. And that's it. It's as simple as that. But always remember that the list is actually a string list. So I just want you to replace it with a string 0. That's it. And then you don't have to write else. I know every if part should have else. I told it in the previous videos. But if you really don't need else part, then you can just skip it. So then you can just print the modified list. And yeah, let's check. So like for example, when we run this, enter the numbers separated by commas. I'm gonna see 1, 9, 2. So it is actually changing the -1 to 0, 9, and 2. Okay. So what's happening here? First, we ask the user to enter the numbers separated by commas. So like for example, if they give any -5, 10 or 20, then after splitting it to like this, something like this. -5. Next, we check if the list is empty or not. For that, you just do simply my list. If there is something, then it will be true. If the list is empty, then it will be false. So if it is true, then it will go here and then it will check whether the first element is negative or not. So we look at the first element, which is my list of 0. We consider it as first element and we'll check how we check by doing it less than 0. So if it is less than 0, then we consider it as negative. So, but in order to check, we also have to convert this string to an integer. So that's why I'm using int here. So now the first it will take -5, which is in string, and then it will be converted to integer -5, and then it will check whether it is less than 0 or not. If it is less than 0, then it will simply change the first value to 0. So finally, we print the modified list. Now let's try again with a list that doesn't start with negative. Maybe 15, 25, 30, or maybe 30. The modified list is 15, 25, 30. Nothing changed because the first number was already positive. So it will come here, it will check whether the list is there or not. If the list is there, then it will check whether the number is less than 0 or not. So if this condition is false, that means if the number is greater than 0, then simply it will skip this else part, it will come out of it, and then it will just print the list. And there you go, you just learned how to check the first element of a list and update it if needed. This may look small, but trust me, you will use this kind of logic again and again in bigger projects. Alright, before we wrap up, let me ask you something. If this video helped you learn even a little bit, isn't that worth a tiny thank you? And the best way you can thank me is by hitting the subscribe button. Think of it like adding yourself to the Python learners list, except this time there's no negative numbers, only positive vibes. So go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell icon, and let's keep learning Python together. Until next time, keep coding and keep smiling. See you soon.